we go.
Gracie and Dean.
Grace and Dean out at Plum Island the other day.
Plummer?
Yeah, Plum Island.
Plum Island.
Yep.
Beautiful. Well, let's see what the meeting place is about. How bitterly does everyone tied to this world defend the specialness he wants to be the truth? His wish is law to him, and he who is tied to this world obeys his wish for specialness. When one is tied to this world, nothing his specialness demands does he withhold. Nothing his specialness needs does he, who is tied to this world, deny to what he loves. And while his specialness calls to him, he who is tied to this world hears no other voice but the ego's voice. No effort is too great, no cost too much, no price too dear to save his specialness from the least slight, the tiniest attack, the whispered doubt, the hint of threat, or anything but deepest reverence. This is your special egoic son, the son of littleness and bodily limitation, beloved of your ego self, as you, your higher self, are beloved to your Father. Yet your special egoic son, the child of littleness and bodily limitation, stands in place of your true creations, who are son to you, that you might share the fatherhood of God, not snatch the fatherhood of God from God the Father. What is this son of specialness and limitation that your egoic little s selves have made to be your egoic mind's strength? What is this child of earth on whom such love is lavished? What is this parody of God's creation that takes the place of your true creations? And where are they, your true creations, now that the host of God has found another son, which is the egoic child of specialness and limitation, whom your mind, as the host of God, prefers to them, your true creations?
Whew.
Yeah.
Mind is the generator of all that is. It's the home of thought and the host of all that is. Our mind is a thought-generating machine. As children of God, our thoughts have the power to manifest. When we believe that we're special, our thoughts come from limitation and fear. These fear-based thoughts contradict rather than extend, contract rather than extend. These fear-based projections are making, not creating. They reside in our mind's imagination and are not shared with the mind of God. Thoughts of limitation support the illusion of separation and specialness. When we create, we come from love and unlimitedness, which is expansive, sharing, and giving in nature. Even during this period of split mindedness, the Holy Spirit saves our true creations, which are our forgiving and loving thoughts that join minds together. Our projections of limitation and littleness that are fear based are not real. Yet the Holy Spirit can reinterpret our misperceptions and transform them into learning tools for the rediscovery of the truth. Depending on which thought system our mind chooses to follow, we're either creating by extending only love or making out of fear and limitation.
The memory of God shines not alone. What is within your brother still contains all of creation, everything created and creating, born and unborn yet, still in the future or apparently gone by. What is in your brother is changeless, and your changelessness is recognized in its acknowledgement in your brother. The holiness in you belongs to your brother, and by your seeing holiness in him, your brother's holiness returns to you. All of the tribute you have mistakenly given specialness belongs to your brother and thus returns to you. All of the love and care, the strong protection, the thought by day and night, the deep concern, the powerful conviction that this is you belong to your brother. Nothing you gave to specialness but is your brother's due, and nothing due your brother is not due to you.
We all get it. This paragraph once again describes the interconnectedness of the oneness of everything. By giving to our brother, we give to ourselves. Give him specialness, and we receive specialness. These thoughts become our creations. Because of the circular nature of thought, these thoughts about our private world actually change how we perceive ourselves. Our wish becomes our provisional reality. Because we lack certainty, these thoughts are constantly reinventing how we define ourselves to be. We either see ourselves as a son of man, a body, or a child of God, unlimited spirit. We either see ourselves as a son of man, a body, or a child of God, unlimited spirit. Within the split mind of one who believes that they are special, we believe and therefore perceive ourselves to be a limited ego body. The definition of perception and projection tells us that what we perceive has already been predetermined within the perceiver's mind. We're not observing an event outside of ourselves, but rather only selectively focusing on certain limited aspects that we have already determined will support our view of reality. Our egoic senses are not a camera, rather, they act more like a censor and an editor. What our brother appears to be is something that we have created in our mind. Thus, Jesus, for example, could be perceived as the greatest sinner or the only Son of God. It's all a matter of individual perspective. Yet our perception will not change the reality of what Jesus is, but it will change how we react to our thoughts about him.
How can you know your true worth while specialness claims you instead? How can you fail to know your worth in your brother's holiness? Seek not to make your specialness the truth, for if your specialness were the truth, you would be lost indeed. Be thankful, rather, it is given you to see your brother's holiness, because your brother's holiness is the truth, and what is true in him must be true in you.
Since our brother is an extension of God, he must be holy. Eventually, we will see this truth and thus know ourselves to be sinless and holy. We can deny this truth about our brother, but we cannot change the will of God.
Ask yourself this: can you protect the mind? You can protect the body, yes, a little, not from time, but temporarily. And much you think you save, you hurt. What would you save your body for? For in that choice lie both the body's health and harm. Save the body for show as bait to catch another fish, to house your specialness in better style, or weave a frame of loveliness around your hate, and you condemn the body to decay and death. And if you see this purpose in your brother's body, such is your condemnation of your own body. Weave rather than a frame of holiness around your brother, that the truth may shine on your brother and give you safety from decay.
The body's a neutral communication device. It takes its orders from our mind. We can use the body to communicate either fear or love. The choice is that of our decision maker. When we choose to regard our brother or ourselves as unlimited and sinless, only then that will become our provisional reality. Our provisional reality can be based on misperception or the correct perception of the Holy Spirit. When we side with the thought system of the Holy Spirit, we will enter the happy dream of correct perception. The happy dream is still an illusion, since we still perceive an observer and something outside of ourselves to observe. God will take the final step in our return to heaven and the knowledge of our oneness with all that is.
The Father keeps what the Father created safe. You cannot touch what the Father created with the false egoic ideas you made, because what the Father created was created not by you. Let not your foolish fancies frighten you. What is immortal cannot be attacked. But what is temporal, which is your foolish fancies that appear to exist only in time, has no effect on the immortal. Only the purpose that you see in what the Father created has meaning. And if that is true, the safety of the Father's creation rests secure. If not, the Father's creation has no purpose, and it is means for nothing. Whatever is perceived as means for truth shares in truth's holiness and rests in light as safely as itself, the truth. Nor will that light go out when the light appears to be gone. Its holy purpose, the truth, gave the Father's creations immortality, setting another light in heaven where your creations recognize a gift from you, a sign that you have not forgotten your creations.
Because God's law of creation is the extension of its source, God's creation, the sonship, is God's creation, the sonship's safety is assured. The sonship, being an effect of God, cannot change its source or function. We can temporarily deny the truth only in temporal time, but we can do nothing that can change the truth in eternity. And that, my friends, is really the truth.
I like that last statement. In other words, even if we screw up once in a while, we really can't destroy anything that is eternal because, by definition, it can't be destroyed. It's eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Eternity is a nice place to be.
Here, here.
There also, everywhere.